Hey guys, it's Nick with Shadows Under the Moon. We are entering our dark season. We have 6 spells lined up for this season. Our first one that we're going to do, Happy New Year by the way, for January 6th is the Day of Reckoning. Now, we've been asked for justice spells pretty much since the group began. People have been asking us, do you have a justice spell? And I never really wanted to tackle that, but I think now we're ready as we entered the darker season. We need to explore some of our darker magic, some of our darker emotions. A lot of people are looking or seeking justice for things that have been done wrong to them. So I wrote this spell. I want to thank Ramona Carpenter for providing the artwork for it. If you got the spell kit, you got a copy. Right now we do have the copy that you can either print off or download for your own personal use, and that's going to be available until tomorrow. We'll go over some of the ingredients as people are entering the broadcast. The first one that I picked is a tourmalated quartz, and if you ordered the spell kit, you got a pyramid. It's a tourmalated quartz pyramid. I'll have him just show. Charles is behind the camera, so he's going to help us out. So thank you, Charles. Tourmalated quartz is good use for balance. So as you see with Lady Justice, even in the tarot card, she's usually holding a scale for balance. The Hypersthene is for calming and quietness. It's mostly black, but it has some cool features to it. You can't really see it on camera, so I'm not going to show that. It's for calming and quietness. A lot of time, if you're seeking justice, the best way to do it is not to be throwing a fit. Seek justice in a quiet, calm way, and usually it's going to come out in your favor. And then the Mahogany Obsidian is for protection or enhanced worthiness. I don't know if you'll be able to see that on there. Sometimes people feel like they're not worthy to seek justice. One thing I will tell you is before you do a justice spell, you best be sure that you are blameless in what has happened to you. If you're not blameless and you have done something to cause this to happen to you, it's kind of going to backfire on you. So you want to be totally innocent. Know that you're innocent and before you do this spell. Also, we're using dried chicken bones, which are commonly used in hoodoo practices. I had a post up on how to dry your chicken bones. These ones got really nice and brittle by using that recipe. And then whole nutmeg is for luck and success. Also, it's a spice, so it's going to add a little kick to your spell. Not real pleasant if you get it on open cut or something like that. So that's another thing we're adding into this spell. The dark blue candle is for justice and order. The purple candle is for ancient wisdom. And the black candle is to dissolve negative energies. Also, we're going to be using a feather, which this is an ostrich feather that I picked for this one. The ostrich feather goes with the goddess that Amanda wrote out, Mayat. And feathers typically for pagan purposes or witch purposes, feathers mean swift action. So we want this to happen swiftly. We want it to help us get our justice that we deserve, and hopefully the people that have wronged us will get what they deserve as well. This is not really wishing harm on anybody per se. It's just wishing for the justice that, or helping the justice speed along on their paths. Alright, so we went through the ingredients. We got quite a few people here. I appreciate you for joining us. We are going to be grating the nutmeg over the bones as we get into the spell. What else? I think we're pretty much ready to start. I picked whatever incense you're comfortable with is good enough. I actually got a Hem Black Magic incense, which just to commemorate our first real dark magic spell. I thought it was cool and it smells really good. So I got that going right now, and I think we went over everything. You guys ready? Got 16 of you. Thanks for joining us. I know we had a record number marked for going, so, and I will take questions after the spell. First, we're going to start with circle casting. And as you do this, you're going to cast your visual circle or salt circle around you. As the circle opens, all negativity is kept at bay. Surround this space with an impenetrable layer of protection. Only those invited within this circle may enter and may only come with positive intent. So just envision that circle of protection surrounding you during this time that you're in ritual. And now I'm going to read from the Goddess Grimoires, the writing from Amanda Lobbs about Mayat. Mayat is the Egyptian goddess of justice, truth, and balance. She is sometimes associated with Thoth, the god of wisdom. She was the firstborn of Ra, and without her, the other Egyptian gods would not have existed, because Ra had to place Mayat within the universe in order to create the order and balance to create. Mayat was responsible for the weighing of the deceased heart against the feather of justice, which she depicted as wearing like a crown. Mayat is the ultimate justice, with no feeling to sway her. Her colors are gold, black, and teal, and her only known offering are ostrich feathers. She is often shown as holding the pharaoh to symbolize the pharaoh upholding the laws of Egypt. Unfeeling justice, no matter the consequences, was the perfect ideal the pharaoh was to live up to. She accepted nothing but the truth, and with this spell, we ask her to administer her universal justice for us. Invoking her justice, we will be setting in motion her balance for the wrongs done to us. Alright. So the first thing you're going to do is hold your tourmalated quartz. You can gaze into it as you're saying this. I seek to balance the scales of justice so that right is rewarded and wrong is paid. You can set that down. Now we are going to crush up our dried chicken bones in a bowl. You're going to think of the person that's wronged you. And ground the bones that hold you strong, for I know that you are wrong. To me you've done a great offense. Because of this I will commence. Your structure turned to powdered dust, for I know the spell is just. So crunch up those bones as best as you can. Some of them might not crunch if they're too thick, but just try to break some of those bones. And imagine that structure disintegrating, the person that you're thinking about. Then write the name of the person on a piece of paper. Put it in your mixture. You can take out any of the bigger bones that didn't crunch up, or you can leave them in there. All this is going in a mojo bag at the end. If if you have a black cloth or a black sock, if you want to just cut the top of the sock off, that works great. Alright, so the nutmeg, we're going to grate that over the bone. Put your finger on these. And you're going to repeat this 3 times. Grinding the seed, I'll do the deed, to grant this just and fair decree. The sting of spice to you from me. Grinding the seed, I'll do the deed, to grant this just and fair decree. The sting of spice to you from me. Grinding the seed, I'll do the deed, to grant this fair and just decree. The sting of spice to you from me. Just keep grating that nutmeg over the bones. You don't have to do the whole seed, just get some on there. You can do that as long as you need to. Alright, now you're gonna actually mix the bones and nutmeg with the feather. And you can have your piece of paper in there too, and you just want to run the feather through the mixture and kind of mix it up. Feather of flight, swift through the night. Shielded I'll be, and they cannot flee. For fairness is sought, this spell have them caught. I don't know if you guys can see Luna on the table. Can you?
Just her head.
She's been helping me prepare for this pretty much all evening. Been following me around. She must have knew I was getting ready to.
Luna, come here.
Come here. You can sit on my shoulder while I finish. Alright, so now we're going to drip the candle wax on the mixture. From each candle, I bond together the spice and the bone to make a protection that only I hold. What you've done wrong, the price will be paid, and until the day to rest it is laid. Drip some of the candle wax from all the candles. If you want to repeat it, I bond together the spice and the bone to make a protection that only I hold. What you've done wrong, the price will be paid.
Get away from that candle.
And until the day to rest it is laid. I bond together the spice and the bone to make a protection that only I hold. What you've done wrong, the price will be paid, and until the day to rest it is laid. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and pick up the hypersine. Hold that in your hand. I've called your time, justice is mine. Peace is found, not made a sound. Then pick up the mahogany obsidian. Quiet I'll go, deserving I know. This justice so sweet, for the wrong you will meet. So mote it be. Just send the energy out. Send it out to who you chose. Now you're going to take all of this mixture with the wax and the paper, take it and put it in a bag, or like I said, you can put it in a black sock even if you want to. Take all the materials, and then if you happen to be in contact with the person that you're seeking justice for, you can sprinkle some of this in the path that they're walking. You don't want to be caught doing that. So that's just a warning. But otherwise, just carry it with you as a protection, and knowing that what you've done, what you've set in motion, is going to affect them and their wrongdoing. And it's going to bring you justice eventually. The spell can be repeated if you feel like it's not really working. If you need to speed it up, you can repeat it. Give it a few days, give it a week or so, see how it's going, and then you can always repeat it. Any of our moon spells can be done anytime, but during the new moon, since we are manifesting, we want to manifest justice at this time, so that's why I chose it for this new moon. Alright, you guys have any questions?
Just got the tablecloth.
Alright. If you do have some of those bigger pieces of bone, if you want to put them in your bag, you can, or you can just save them for next time. Well, I really appreciate you guys joining us. This is exciting because it is our first black magic or dark magic spell that we've done inside the group, and we have more to come. I mean, on January 21st is the full moon, and for that one we're actually going to be doing a freezer spell called Cold as Ice. But it's a little more than just a freezer spell. It's not just putting the name of somebody in the freezer on ice. We are actually going to do a ritual for it, which you can't really find many of those on the internet, so you'll definitely want to tune in to that.
2 questions.
Alright, we have some questions.
How long should you have to carry the pouch?
I would carry it for as long as till you start seeing some results. I would carry it with you. Make sure it's kind of in a smaller container that you're not really going to notice. If you have room in your purse or in your pocket or something like that, it shouldn't be a problem. If you've dried out the bones in the oven and stuff, you definitely don't want. You want to make sure that they're dried out good, so you don't have any moisture and they're not getting all rotten and stuff in there, because that's nasty. But make sure your bones are dried out really good.
Will it work if you don't know who did the wrong?
That if you don't know who did it, but you send out the intention that you want justice, hopefully you'll find out. If not, we are going to be doing a truth be told, a truth spell. That's going to be the first in the beginning of February. So maybe that might be one where you want to find out who has done you wrong, because you don't know. That might be the time to do that, and then maybe repeat the justice spell after you find out who it is. But definitely, you kind of want to be aiming at somebody when you're doing this. All right. But hopefully, if you don't know who it is, maybe you can ask your guides to reveal it to you in your dreams tonight or something like that. Do some meditation, but definitely tune back in February for Truth Be Told, because maybe that might help you out. I am going to be announcing the spell tonight, so if you want to try it on your own before we do the broadcast, you're welcome to do that as well.
Do you have to keep the crystals in the pouch?
No, you don't have to keep the crystals in the pouch, and I wouldn't. I'm not advising you to. You can just keep the crystals, keep them together so you know that's what you did it for. Kind of just keep them together. It'll be a reminder, and they'll also be a protection. But the Mojo bag, keep that with you. I mean, I guess you don't have to take it with you if you're not going to be crossing that person's path. But if you're around that person, you might want to keep it with you. Just sprinkle some of it in their path on the sidewalk before they walk them by or something like that. But you'll want to keep it around you, especially like if you're at home or if you're going somewhere that you might be around them. But it's mostly all about intention, and that's what I try to teach, is that no matter what you have, what tools you are using, all this stuff is just focusing that intention. You can do this with sticks, you can do this with dirt, you can do it with anything. But the bones and the spices that I used are just to focus our intention on what we're trying to do. Because if you put your mind to it as to what you want to happen, that's where you really get the positive manifestation results. Okay? Alright, well, I thank you guys so much for joining us. I'll try to get Truth Be Told posted tonight. I have not finished writing it, but I'm going to work on that a little bit after the spell, and then I'll try to get it up for you guys. Either it might be a little later tonight. That's my goal, is to get it up for you guys tonight, because I know you've been waiting for it, and I appreciate all the anticipation that you guys had for this, all the excitement that you guys been giving us, because we got an awesome new year started. We're gonna go through these darkness spells the next 6 moons, the new and full moons, so we got 3 months of them, and they're all the titles are announced, but we will be announcing the full spells soon. Alright, if you guys are interested in any spell kits or anything like that, having trouble getting materials, want to get materials like I'm using, just go to the Witchy Wares group that's associated with Shadows Under the Moon, and I can get you set up with getting some spell kits, some crystals, herbs, whatever you guys need. I'm here to help, and thanks so much. Have a great evening and Happy New Year.